All right, Coach, why don't you just go ahead and start us off with your overall thoughts on the match tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously disappointed with the result. Felt on a different night we probably did enough to win it. Crossbar posts, a couple of little touches, but I mean, credit to them. They've dug in, they've responded on the goal. I thought we pushed really well second half. I think their intent was to come here to spoil us a little bit and get my face physically, but I thought we matched that. And yeah, I just think we fell a little bit short. Maybe he's lacked a little bit of quality in the final third. Probably took a touch too many at times. But yeah, I mean, I'm proud of how we pushed. Really pushed right to the end to get the result. But unfortunately, we just fell a little bit short.
Can you talk about Olivia Moultrie's performance in the midfield today?
Yeah, I think grew it in the game, particularly second half. Found some good pockets. We talked at half time around showing a bit of variety in terms of how we attacked. And I felt she found some good pockets in the second half when they got a bit stretched and were trying to deal with us playing in behind a little bit more.
And then Christine Sinclair wasn't on the roster today. Was that just to rest her coming off of the international break?
No. I mean, listen, very unfortunate but frustrating as well. She got stuck with some delayed flights, so she missed a connection. Our travel day was pushed back. She just arrived in Portland last night at 6 o'clock. So yeah, I think if you look at player safety, it was the right thing to do. Could we address that? Could we have used that? Maybe, but yeah, we took the decision what we felt was right for player safety and what's coming ahead.
And then Michelle Vasconcelos went down, and it looks like she tweaked something in her calf. Do you have any update on that?
I don't, not yet. I haven't spoken with the medical team.
Why did Natalia Kuikka start on the bench? Did she need some extra recovery after national team break? Because when she played 2 times 90 minutes and 2 intercontinental flights.
Yeah, I mean, that was a consideration with Natu. I think it was a consideration with the 3 other internationals that we had playing in Europe. Natu played big minutes. So again, could we push them? Yeah, but I think we just, when you consider they arrived back in town 48 hours before the game, it's tough on the body. So it's just trying to get them recovery, manage them. We've got a big week coming up. We did want to continue the momentum that we've had from the first 2 games. So we just try to find that right balance. But I think you saw a fresh Natu, considering what she's played and flown and being in the different time zones, and she had an impact second half.
Hey, Mike, what were your thoughts on Reina's first start?
Yeah, I thought Reina started well. Found her feet quickly in the game. She was positive. I think she's shown what she has in training for us. I know she's disappointed in terms of how the goal went down, but she'll be better for that. It'll be hurting right now. She's acknowledged that. She wants that moment back, but yeah, she'll recover. She'll be good moving forward. And I think you saw in the first 15, 20 minutes how she started. She started positively, and she'll look comfortable in the environment.
Hi. So some positives. Last year, Houston came and beat us 2-0. So getting a point from them, is that a positive, or are you guys still really focused on just the next game and moving forward?
Listen, I think, is it a positive? I don't want to really look at last year in terms of the results. I think take like now is now and what was in front of us tonight. I'll take the positives that I felt we did enough to win the game. Different night we maybe would have. You could say they've had a couple of chances, but I don't know if they've had a ton of clear-cut chances. So yeah, I think I put that aside from last year. It's not really in my mind. It's really just about beating what was in front of us tonight. Thought we really pushed hard to get that result second half. So yeah, it's the positives are that. Disappointed with the result, but yeah, we move on. It's a new day tomorrow. We've got a game on Wednesday, and then we keep pushing.
Yep, back to Taylor in the front.
Kind of, what is your biggest takeaway from tonight's game for what you want to work on looking into the games in the week ahead?
Take away to work on. I think there's some big positives. In terms of positives that we need to continue, I felt that we dealt with their physicality up front, on the ground and in the air really well. We spoke about that being key tonight. So in terms of contesting first balls, winning second balls, that'll be key moving forward. So we're going to have to do that well again. I think just being a little bit more efficient in the final third. 22 shots on goal is plentiful. And we had some high quality opportunities there. So that would be the, if you like, the growth area we'll probably need to go to, is just being a bit more efficient and clinical in front of goal.
All right, do we have any questions online at all? All right, we do not have any questions online, so we will wrap there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Recording in progress.
All right, we'll start with questions in the room for Meghan Klingenberg. Taylor, you want to start us off?
Hey, Kling, if you could just start with kind of your thoughts on the game.
Sure. Our team is a special group. I think that there's not many teams in the league that can say, hey, when we're playing like us, nobody can stay with us. I think there were periods during the game where we lost ourselves a little bit, and when we do that, teams can compete with us. And Houston's a good team. They're physical. They're high pressure, they're direct, and that's difficult to combat sometimes when you're playing on your back foot. So the part that I was really proud of, though, was that the team didn't stay on the back foot. We, kicked it into gear, got on the front foot again, started getting after them, getting good chances, and it was a winnable game. We had chances that we could have won, put away in the first half, so the thing about us is that we're never satisfied. Even when we win, we're satisfied being unsatisfied. We're always pushing. So I think that's the story of this match.
And then what would you say that you think like Houston did well that kind of made it hard to contain the forward sometimes?
I think, honestly, it was more of a us thing. We gave the ball away in places that we shouldn't give the ball away in. I think we made it a bit too easy when we were in our big shape, giving the ball away in spots that we don't normally. And so then we were having to track back, and they got really good chances when they were direct and we weren't necessarily quite in shape yet.
Hey, Kling, did the lineup changes for the Thorns kind of throw off any cohesion at all, do you think? Okay, thank you.
And
Hey, can you kind of talk about Jane Campbell, who had a really fantastic game in goal for them and was able to get 5 really nice saves there. Bella actually had 4 too, which was nice, but it seemed like Jane was taking the brunt of the assault.
Yeah, I mean, Jane was standing on her head out there. It was great for her and happy for her, but unfortunately I wish a bunch of those went in. I mean, we also had some that were just not on frame. In the first half, we had some that we just missed the frame, and we don't normally miss the frame like that. So shout out to Jane, because she did do very well, and you have to give players credit where it's due. But for us, we need to make sure that we're hitting the frame when we have our chances, and because even if Jane does save it, it could come back out in a rebound, and it could be a situation where it's kept alive. If we miss the frame, it's just dead, and we have to reset an attack. So I think that should be a big focus for us this week.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Reina, who made her first start today?
Oh, so fun. Really happy for Reina to be able to get out here in front of Providence Park, because it's still the best place to play in the entire country. Our fans are, second to none, and I think that we can see her quality out there. Her feet are really fast, and I think that, she's super tough and gets in there and tackles, and she has a lot of potential, and it was just nice to see her get some minutes and have some fun.
do we have any questions from anyone online? If you do, go ahead and use the raise your hand function. All right, looks like we do not have any questions online. So, Kling, we will let you go. Thank you for your time.
I hear you, but I don't know if the people on the internet.
Okay. If you could just start with your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, I think us coming back together as a group after an international break is always challenging. Like there's just a lot of chaos and movement. Everybody kind of like just got back yesterday, so there's a ton of fatigue within the group as well. I think we dominated, but we were just missing like that final piece, a little bit of our bite, a little bit of just like our identity. I still think we have a ton to be proud of. We know we have to sharpen some things up, but I think it's a good lesson for us at a good point in the season. So credit to Houston, like they played well, great finish. So yeah, I think there were some good things, obviously some not so good things, but we're just gonna take it, grow with it, and learn from tonight.
And then you were kind of shutting stuff down centrally, and then Houston kind of was moving more to the wings. What did you guys kind of talk about at halftime as far as like making adjustments?
Yeah, they were definitely like overloading like both sides of me. So the inside pocket, which was making it really hard for our 8 and 10 to kind of get across, but then to also like apply pressure, but be aware of what was behind them. But ultimately, like we were less focused on what they were doing and us just like being us, being front-footed, being dominant in our press and our hunt. Like we don't have situations where we have to defend and organize like in mid-block if we are winning the ball higher up the field. So we definitely, we had some adjustments and things we wanted to do there. But ultimately, it all came back to just being who we are and our team identity.
Sorry, one last one. Go ahead. You guys have now multiple games coming up, right, with Challenge Cup midweek and another NWSL match. How do you kind of take the stuff from this game and quickly kind of adjust for the upcoming matches?
Yeah, I think it's a quick turnaround, between like Challenge Cup and then League, like it can get a little overwhelming. I think a huge focus for us is just like living and playing one day at a time. Like tonight, our focus was tonight. We're not worried about tomorrow. We're not worried about San Diego. We're just like, we are where our feet are, and tomorrow we're going to be where our feet are, and then Sunday when we come back and re-enter, like we're just focused on recovery, what we can do, taking care of everything we need to, the details. But it's easy in, a season with so many games to just like get ahead of yourself and think like, oh my gosh, like we have this many coming up and travel, all this. Like we just need to come back to now and focus on taking care of the details in the moment.
Hey Sam, what was it like wearing those kits for the first time? And then
I love them. I think they're so cool. I literally looked around at everybody in the locker room. I was like, we look good. Yeah, obviously it stinks not to get the win in them, but I think they're so unique. I think they're very us. I think we're just undeniably, unapologetically Portland. So I'm a big fan. I had fun playing in them.
Yeah, and then what was it like having Olivia start with you and Crystal in midfield today?
Yeah, obviously some movement there between, like the international break and different players filling in. I thought our midfield did a really good job, though. I think a huge piece for us has been just communication, like constant over-communicating. Like no communication is bad communication. And I thought the group did a really great job of that, solving problems. Houston's a really good team. Like they presented us with different challenges we haven't seen yet. And I think, Liv, especially coming in, having not started a game yet this year, just did great and fed into that and held it down and was great, especially on the ball going forward.
Hey Sam, talk about what the international break and what you did, not just you but your teammates, how Mike and the team kind of used that time.
Yeah, that's a great question. Mike kind of before the game was like, we didn't have a break. Like there was no break. We didn't take our foot off the gas. We've been going this whole time. And I think for that was a really intentional focus through those 2 weeks was like, this isn't, obviously this is a good chance for us to recover, like take a breath, but we're getting after it. We have more time to work on certain things that we want to both individually as a team. And so I think we just, we really took advantage of that time to the best of our ability. It gave us a little bit more of an opportunity to actually practice, which you don't always get in the middle of a season with a lot of games. Obviously we wish that could have paid off a little bit more tonight, but I think you could even see some of the things that we were working on in that break. And I think more than anything, the mindset of the players showing up every day here during those 14 days was amazing. It wasn't, half our team's gone, so this is a chance for us to just relax and not care. Like we were more energized than ever and just getting after it every single day, taking care of what we needed to. So I think we really utilized that time well.
Any other questions in the room? Rocky?
Hey, Sam. Congrats on the point. So I kind of like the, I'm kind of a fresh eye on this whole watching the Thorns thing. One thing I was really impressed with was like the composure. You guys were, not getting balls bounced your way off the crossbar a few times. Like how do you guys keep yourselves together and keep focused?
Yeah, I think it's obviously frustrating when we're dominating a game, like off the post, off the crossbar. We're right there. Like some of it's just so unfortunate. And you can't do anything about that. That those ones didn't go our way tonight. I think, again, like I alluded to earlier, we were just missing kind of that extra piece, that like dagger, that we usually have. But again, like I said earlier, I think even in those moments of frustration, like you saw us in the 93rd minute, like we're not wasting time, we're pushing. We want to win every single game. If we're down one, if we're tied, if we're down however many goals, like we're going to push to win because that's our identity. We're winners, we're champions. We want to win every single game that we play. So whether there's 30 seconds on the clock or whatever the circumstances are, I think us coming back to who we are as a team and our core identity, which is something that the culture of this team is like founded upon, is super important. And I think we lost a bit of that, in moments in the first half, even at some points in the second. And so reminding each other just to like come back to who we are as the Thorns, was really key. And I think that's what really kept us going to the final whistle.
All right, we'll take one question from online from Melina Gaspar.
Thank you. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
So speaking a little bit about the opponent, as a defensive midfielder, how hard is to stop Ebony Salmon, Ordóñez, and Maria Sanchez? Thank you.
Yeah, no, they're a handful. They're great, and they have really good chemistry. I think they read each other really well, which is always fun for us as more defensive-minded players. I thought we did a really good job kind of handling their chaos and absorbing their runs and communicating between myself, like midfielders, and the back line, because there was a ton of interchange. They were making line-breaking runs. We had to pass players off to one another. And so that took a lot of communication and just trust in each other. But yeah, I mean, credit to them. They're a handful. They're so talented, and I think they play really, really well together, and they've got some really amazing chemistry. So. Thanks, guys.